You can break with that like I did.
Yeah, I don't need. Okay.
Okay, hello. Nice to meet you. What are you all saying?
Joey. Joey.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, nice to meet you. Jennifer.
How are you, Sean? Good.
Jennifer Couple, nice to meet you. I know, but I'm gonna take my notes. You didn't let me know our secret, so I just wasn't emotionally prepared. So how are the girls doing? All right. Yeah. So just. Right out. Yes, and he didn't think you had time to speak through a thing, that's why I take everything copy. I emailed about that answer. I already answered the question. Oh, okay.
I'd like to call the meeting to order.
Councilman Dan Arvidson,
Present.
Councilwoman Elizabeth Craig,
Present.
Councilman Scott Baker,
Present.
Mayor Tony Craig,
Present.
Councilman Claude Lang,
Present.
Councilwoman Jennifer Little.
Present.
Mayor, all are present and accounted for. Tonight we're having a public hearing, and there will be a time for public comments. There are rules of conduct for public comments. You have to register to speak before you can be called to the front. You're limited to 3 minutes. Please state your name and your address for the record. If you would like an emailed response to your questions or comments, I have a business card up there, and you can take it and just email me later, and I'll be glad to send you a response from the council. All comments tonight must be directly related to the purpose of the public hearing, which is the proposed additional ad valorem tax of $3 million for fire protection services. All remarks must be directed to the mayor and the city council as a whole, and not as individual members, city employees, or other attendees. Speakers must conduct themselves in a respectful and orderly manner. Please no profanity, personal attacks, threats, shouting, or disruptive behavior. Please do not interrupt council members, city staff, or other speakers during the meeting procedures. Applause, heckling, chanting, or other demonstrations that disrupt the hearing are prohibited. Please do not yield or transfer your allotted time to another person. Questions may be submitted during public comment. However, the council is not required to respond or engage in debate during the hearing. All written comments that are submitted to the city clerk will be included in the official record. All attendees must follow the rules or will be asked to leave or removed. So tonight we're here for the ad valorem tax proposal for fire protection services. And Chief Swanson, would you like me to show the news clip first, and then you do your PowerPoint?
Let's just do PowerPoint.
Okay. All right.
Mayor, council members, and the public, thank you for the opportunity to discuss the future of fire protection in the city of Owens Crossroads. Tonight, I'm asking for your support for a dedicated $3 million property tax that will provide stable funding for the department operations, firefighter safety, and critical equipment replacement. This proposal is not about wants. It's about ensuring our department can continue to provide reliable emergency services to our community.
Sorry, trying to get to it.
I'll wait on you.
Maybe if I can see it.
Second slide.
There we go. I
Second
apologize. There we go. Sorry.
So the purpose of this proposal is straightforward. We need to ensure that our fire department has reliable apparatus, modern equipment, properly equipped and trained firefighters, but more importantly, we need a sustainable funding to continue protecting our citizens. As our community grows, we must make investments today that will allow us to meet the service demands for tomorrow. Next slide. Many people still think that fire departments primarily respond to fires. While that remains a core function of today's fire service, we respond to a wide variety of emergencies, including medical calls, vehicle accidents, severe weather incidents, rescues, hazardous materials emergencies, as well as public safety calls. We're often the first line of response when a citizen needs help in our community. Next slide. Owens Crossroads continues to grow through residential development, increased commercial activity, and growth is a positive sign for our city. But growth also increases emergency service demands. More homes, more businesses, more people mean more calls for service. The department must grow in capability and resources alongside the community. Next slide. When someone calls 911, they expect help to arrive quickly with equipment that works. They don't think about the age of our fire apparatus or whether equipment is approaching the end of its service life. They simply expect the fire department to be ready. Reliability is not a luxury in public safety. It's an expectation. So I've got several critical needs I'm going to outline tonight for where some of this funding will go to. And one of them is one of our frontline pumpers is now 26 years old. While it has served this community well, it has exceeded the age most departments would consider ideal for a frontline service truck or pumper. As apparatus age, maintenance costs rise, parts become more difficult to obtain, and the risk of mechanical failure increases. And this concern is not just cost, it's reliability when the citizens need us the most. A modern fire engine provides improved reliability, enhancing the safety features, updated technology, and greater operational capability. It allows firefighters to perform more effectively or efficiently and safely. It also reduces time spent out of service for repairs. Ultimately, replacing our aging pumper is an investment in emergency response readiness. One of the positives for our department is that we've successfully recruited 10 new members. Recruiting members is becoming increasingly difficult nationwide, so this is a pretty significant accomplishment for our department. However, before these new members can serve the community, they must be equipped with the proper PPE, radios, and necessary safety equipment. PPE includes things like turnout, coat, pants, helmet, gloves, and protective hood these firefighters will wear when responding to fires and other hazardous incidents. Today, a complete set of PPE costs approximately $6,800 per firefighter. So just equipping our 10 new members is an immediate investment of approximately $68,000. The other piece of equipment that is in much need is portable radios. They're among the most important pieces of safety equipment we issue to firefighters. Radios allow crews to coordinate operations, call for assistance, report changing conditions, and allows for the accountability of personnel on emergency scenes. Communication failures can quickly escalate into life-threatening situations. We need radios for our new members and must continue planning for future communication needs. In addition to apparatus, PPE, and radios, every effective fire department requires things like fire hose, nozzles, thermal imaging cameras, rescue tools, medical equipment, ladders, as well as numerous other pieces of equipment that go on a fire truck. These tools wear out, become damaged, or eventually reach the end of their useful life. And so maintaining operational readiness requires continual investment in this critical equipment. Postponing equipment replacement rarely saves money in the long run. Apparatus become more expensive to repair. PPE costs continue to rise. Equipment failure leads to service interruptions and greater risk. The question is whether we replace critical equipment proactively or wait until equipment failure forces our hand, sometimes at a much higher cost. The proposed 3 mil property tax would provide a stable, predictable source of funding for the fire department operations. This funding would support apparatus purchases, PPE purchases, firefighter radio, operational equipment, as well as future capital planning. It allows us to move from reactive purchasing to responsible planning. This investment benefits every resident, every business in the city of Owens Crossroads. It strengthens our emergency response capabilities, improves firefighter safety, supports economic development, enhances disaster preparedness, and protects property values. Strong fire protection is one of the foundational services that contributes to a thriving community. This proposal allows us to replace equipment before failure occurs, properly equip firefighters, maintain operational readiness, and keep pace with community growth. Most importantly, it ensures that when a citizen calls for help, we have the personnel, equipment, and resources necessary to respond effectively. Mayor and council, this proposal is ultimately about reliability, preparedness, and public safety. Our firefighters are ready and willing to serve this community, but they need reliable, modern equipment to do so safely and effectively. This proposed 3 mil tax is an investment in the protection of our citizens, our firefighters, and our businesses, as well as the future of the city of Owens Crossroads. So finally, the success of our fire department is not measured by the fires we fight, but our readiness when these or those emergencies occur. This proposal ensures the city of Owens Crossroads remains prepared, protected, and positioned for future growth. The question is not whether we can afford to invest in the protection, fire protection. The question is whether we can afford not to. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Mayor, on the agenda, now's the time if any council members, I guess, have comments, this would be.
Andy, you have any comments?
Yeah, I do. Good evening, fellow Owens Crossroads residents. Growth and fiscal responsibility. The Owens Crossroads Post Office, we often receive wet packages, wet checks, damaged soil mail, delayed. Personally, I hate seeing the postal clerks without working out the sun, humidity, rain, and the wind. The new Owens Crossroads sewer plant, a city planned and executed project. In 2023, the city planned and shortly thereafter began construction of the new sewer plant to meet future growth. Its operation started just a couple of months ago and will meet the growing needs for years to come. Both the federal and our city government had the benefit of census and other population growth data. The United States Post Office didn't use and apply that data, or possibly ignored it, and look at its impact, as I previously mentioned. The city of Owens Crossroads did recognize those statistics and planned the building of the sewer plant, and I'm very thankful we don't have sewage issues as a result. We are now asking our residents, upon approval by the city council, to also recognize the growth and vote to approve this needed ad valorem tax to build the solid foundation of our fire department in support of our fire EMS department, as just laid out by Fire Chief to serve our community in the future. I can appreciate everybody's focus on the tax cost. However, I would like to bring attention to bring some attention to the savings decades of city leadership has saved the town now city. Interest on debt. We don't pay any interest because we don't have any debt. At the Alabama League of Municipalities, which we attended, I learned that 80 to 90% of cities of our size have debt. With an average debt of $5 million and at a municipal interest rate of 4%, that's about $200,000 per year. As a result of continued focused financial and fiscal responsibility by prior and current mayors and city councils, Owens Crossroads residents haven't had to pay interest on debt, excepting this building and I believe fire perhaps sometime. There is no debt. The city is asking our residents to help the city council to continue to be fiscally responsible in planning for our fire department, to be prepared to meet the continuing growth of our city. Voting in September for the ad valorem tax would bring in about $100,000 per year should the council approve. Just as the fire department asks every family and commercial business to have a plan in case of fire, let's ensure as a city we have a fire department that has the resources and equipment to execute their plan to safely and quickly address all our emergency needs. The post office, out of our hands, out of our control. Building of the fire department is in the hands of the city council and the Owens Crossroads city residents. It's in our control. A well-resounding approval of the ad valorem tax would send a strong community support signal to our brave firefighters that they are appreciated and supported. Thank you.
Mr. Craig, do you have any? Mr. White? No, sir. All right.
Yes, so I just want to say that it's nice to see the community show up for this kind of stuff. I'm a little surprised that we didn't get more people to show up or more emails with comments and concerns, because I hear a lot of talk and I see a lot of talk. So it just surprises me that our turnout is as low as it is, but I am thankful for those of you that do actually put your money where your mouth is, and I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say, because at the end of the day, we all live here together. This is our community. It's not us against you. We're in this together. We all live here. So I just want to say I'm looking forward to what you have to say, and Thank you for coming out.
Next, we'll begin the public comments. First is Michael Wilson. When you approach, state your name and your address, please.
Hello, I'm Michael Wilson. I've been a resident here in Owens Crossroads for now almost 10 years. My wife's been a resident all her life at Owens Crossroads. So I think you have my address.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I do
That's
really
fine.
want to pass that out. I
That's
am
fine.
a former chief of protective services at NASA. Been there for almost 40 years and have a lot of dealings with budgets and budget increases and work to come up with justifications for new and better equipment all the time. So I'm all in support of making sure the fire department has a great budget. I think it's very important for all of the emergency responders to have a budget that they need to be able to do the things that they need to do, and that's save lives. So important, not only for the fire department, police department, all of the emergency responders. HIMSI, luckily, they come out here and support us as well. So we've got a big community of emergency responders here that help our community. My thing is, this is a request for tax. Not a lot of people like to have to pay tax to begin with, and now you're asking for more. So what I did is, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to submit my questions. I had 39 questions. Mostly based on my background as a former chief of protective services, to answer these questions, not only just to me, but to the public, to help sell the idea of why we need to pay a three mil increase in our tax. I think we already are at 7, and this is going to bring us to 10 for the city. So with the 3%, the 7% that's a 7% bill just for the city, with 3 more, that's a total of 10. And it is a selling process. We've got to make sure that all the community knows why we're here, why it's important that we have to maintain good equipment, and make sure that our emergency responders have everything that they need to do to save our community's lives, because seconds count, and it's very important. I did say that I fully support the fire department. I wanted to make sure that they have their equipment, but at the same time, I think there needs to be a balance. I think there needs to be somewhere some kind of, I guess, public declaration of here's what our budget is. These are the things that we are trying to do, and how it's going to benefit the community. I think it's very important that we do that, because it is right now everything seems to be going up in price, and we're a little concerned about having to pay extra. Time's up. So thank you very much for mine. I appreciate it, and good luck. Anything I can do, let me know.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
And Mr. Wilson already knows that we informed him before the meeting started that his questions will be answered via email this week. Thank you. Next, we have Scott Ford.
Well, as you said, I'm Scott Ford. I'm 145 Bellhaven. I live in the stick houses that burn real fast. So my question, first off, it's going to sound like I'm really not for it, but I really am. But as a former volunteer fireman, I get that it's very expensive. I get it. Y'all do a lot of hard work. But help me with answering my question is the math. If 3 mil is going to be $100,000, but our expenditures are almost $800,000, that ain't math. And I need to know where that other $600,000, $650,000 is coming from. Have we done fundraising? Have we looked at grants? That is the only 2 ways that when I was in the fire department, was through DeKalb County, that we got money. There was nothing from the state. There was nothing from the county. And my last question, I'll make it easy, is what is our ISO rating, and what is the projected ISO rating after the 8 years? That's it. And I want to thank every one of you for being very, I guess, accessible. This little.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Thank you.
Next is Sean Ganem.
As she said, I'm Sean Ganem. I live at 399 Wilson Man Road, so just across the highway. Mary Craig, Council Pete. Appreciate the opportunity to talk. I have just a couple of questions. And number one, I'm very supportive of the millage tax for property. But my big question is this a ad valorem property tax that's being added across the board, or is it only property? Currently, we have an ad valorem for the city as well for our vehicle. Is this going to be added to that, or is this strictly the property?
Strictly property.
Wonderful. That's great news. I know that Chief Swanson talked a lot about sustainment and aging equipment, and there is a constant need for continually updating or modernizing the equipment that I also believe is extremely important. But everything that I'm seeing with the proposal is a tax that is limited from 2027 to 2033, correct? Or is this continue to go on beyond that? And if it's not continue to go on beyond that, how do we truly have sustainment if we have a limited tax that's going to be there? What is the plan for being able to continue that sustainment of apparatus that's going to continually need to be modernized and updated, because it does age, it does wear out. Even if we buy a new pumper, that's still going to age at some time down the road. I get it, there's math that's involved in it, just like was just mentioned, but there has to be some kind of a budget. So my question there is there, what is the plan for modernizing the aging equipment, such as the turnout gear and the breathing apparatus, going forward beyond 2033, which is what this tax proposal is for? The other question I have is there an opportunity to relieve that tax if the revenue from the tax exceeds the budgetary estimate because of whatever events may happen? Particularly, Huntsville can't grow anymore without expanding this way. So I know that our city is growing, and I have mixed feelings about that. But if we get to the point where we're growing and adding to that proposed budget to the point where there's excessive funding there, is there an opportunity for relief? Those are all my questions I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Last was Kay Mitchum.
I'm Kenny Mitchum. I've lived here at Owens Crossroads for about 35 years now. During those years, our fire department has been sufficient, but the growth in our community has exceeded our expectations here in the last 5 years. I mean, it's just growing leaps and bounds. And in order to keep up with that, I can't see why we cannot support the fire department and increase the budget for that. If you just look at our rating as far as insurance companies go, if we don't extend our fire department, our rating will exceed our 3 mil tax on our increases in insurance. So, I mean, just look at it economically, not counting our safety or anything like that. But yeah, I'm in full support of it. I think that the community needs it, and for us to continue to grow like we are, we have to adjust. Thank you.
Was there anyone that didn't sign up that would like to ask a question or make a comment? Okay.
All right, so there was discussion about going up a percentage. So right now, Owens Crossroads, New Hope, and Gurley are at 4.05 for each $100 of assessed value. All we're talking about is going up 30 cents to $4.35 for each $100 of assessed value. Currently in Madison County, the residents in the county pay a 3 mil for fire. It's a 3 mil fire tax. They pay that already. We do not. In the past, I guess the volunteers supported in the city provided donations to the volunteer fire department in the past to help them with their expenses. So right now, we don't really have an adequate volunteer fire department. That's what started this department. And we've got it stood up, and we're operating very efficiently thanks to Chief Swanson, Assistant Chief David Whitman. We appreciate everything you guys are doing. That's all I have.
Any further comments by anyone on the council?
I can get a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Got a motion to adjourn the meeting from Councilwoman Little. I guess second from Councilman Lane. I'm from Baker. Did that last time, didn't it? Yeah. All right.
Councilman Van Arvison,
Yeah.
Councilwoman Elizabeth Craig. Yay. Mayor Tony Craig,
Yeah.
Councilman Claude Lane. Okay. Meeting's adjourned.